Hello everyone and welcome back to another pre-recorded lesson video. Today is Wednesday, November 11th. This week is just flying by. Hopefully you've been keeping up the other pre-recorded lesson videos for this week, especially the one on Monday, because that one was super important. We're just working on improving everyone's writing and making sure that it's in a place where it's very detailed and very descriptive, okay? Because my end goal for this class is to make y'all better writers, to make you more descriptive writers, and I'm starting to see the steps and the improvements in y'all's writing, which makes me very, very happy. And that's what we're going to be working on today. Again, is we're going to be working on just writing and getting it to a place where we're all happy. Okay, so let us get started. So the intro for today is I want y'all to just think about an important event that has happened in the book so far, okay? And there's been a lot of events that have happened in the book so far, right? I think we are at chapter 6 at this point. Remember, I'm not expecting y'all to read the whole book. Just a minimum, watch the summary videos and read the summaries that I've been uploading into that book summary PowerPoint that I have been talking about constantly. So I want y'all to go in today's folder, okay? And there's going to be a link to a Padlet. I want you to just basically write just one event that you think is the most important event that's happened so far. And I want you to explain how that event affected Paul or his group of friends, okay? Because remember, that's what we've been really focusing on the most is how war and what these soldiers have been through are affecting them, okay? So I want you to take a couple minutes, go into that Padlet link in today's folder, and basically, again, pick out one event that you think is the most important that's happened so far and explain how that event affected Paul and his friends. Whenever you're done, come back to this video, okay? Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you completed that activity in that Padlet. To me, the most important event that's happened in the book so far is there's two in my mind that are tied. First one is in chapter 5, whenever Paul Mueller and Albert Kropp are sitting around in a circle and discussing what they're going to do after the war. And all three of them basically saying, we have to survive first, and who knows if we'll do that. And, even if we do go back and survive, what are we going to do? War has ruined us for everything, right? That sort of shows how war has affected them and how they sort of lost all hope at this point of having a good future. The second one that I think is tied is whenever Kat and Paul in chapter 4 come across this young recruit that is injured, and they're both debating on if they should kill that recruit to put him out of his misery, right? That sort of shows a side of Paul's still having a sense of humanity and knowing that this is probably the right thing to do, right? To put him out of his misery because all he's going to do is suffer. But Paul knowing that even if it is the right thing to do, he still can't bring himself to do it, right? It's sort of a really good look into Paul's character and where he's at in the war, right? And how we're slowly starting to see a change in Paul. So those are just two of the events that I think are the most important events to happen so far. Remember, there's no wrong or right answer to this. This is just your opinion, right? There's no one single event that's the most important. It's whatever you think it is. And I look forward to reading what y'all put down because I do read those Padlets and what y'all have to say, and very excited to read what y'all think. Okay, so moving on. My bad. There we go. So the learning goal that we're going to focus on is we're going to be able to identify and explain how conditions on the front affected the soldiers in the second company. I really don't want to focus on that today because we sort of been doing that yesterday, talking about how the soldiers are handling being in the trenches, right? So today what we're going to be focusing on is just improving our writing and making sure that we're in a place where it's descriptive and it's saying what we wanted to say, okay? Important questions, really don't have to focus on this because we've been focusing on this the past couple of days, right? Yesterday especially. If you didn't watch yesterday's pre-recorded lesson video, I highly recommend you go back and watch it, okay? So again, what we're going to do is we are going to work on word choice, word choice, word choice. Okay? I want us to get to a place where we are being very descriptive with our language, right? But to start off, I want y'all to just get your thoughts down on paper. Consider this as your first draft. Remember, your first draft is whenever you just write whatever is in your head down on a paper, and then later on you go back and edit everything and revise it, right, to make your final copy. So the activity I want us today is going to be in a Padlet link. I want us to imagine that you're a soldier in the trenches, okay, right? And I want y'all to write down 2 to 3 sentences about what you're doing or what the conditions are like. Basically, put yourself in the shoes of the soldier and just write down what's happening in the trenches and what's happening to you, and try to make it sort of like a diary post, I guess, like a journal entry. What you're going to do is you're going to go into this Padlet right here, okay? And you're just going to write, y'all know, put your name up top and just write 2 or 3 sentences of where you're the soldier, and it could be whatever you want, okay? Just get your thoughts down on paper. So I'm gonna give you all a couple minutes to do that, okay? And after you're done, come back to this video. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you got 2 to 3 sentences. If you wrote more, that's perfectly fine. I always encourage people to write more. So what we're gonna do is I want y'all to look through those 2 to 3 sentences that you wrote, okay? And I want you to go back and reread it, okay? And see where you can make changes, okay? See where you can be a little bit more descriptive. Maybe you have a couple generic sentences that you know that you can add a little bit more detail to make it a lot more descriptive and help the reader see exactly what you want them to see. So I want you to go back into that Padlet link, and I want you to title this one, right? Just create a new post, and I want you to title this one, your name, and then say 2. So that I know this is your edited copy, or your name, and just say edited, in that title. And I want you to make it more descriptive. And how you do that, if you didn't watch that Monday or you just need a refresher, is maybe you have a sentence in your post that is generic, like the bullets are firing past me, right? You do. I was sitting in a hole and praying for my life. The bullets are firing past me. Maybe that's your sentence, and I'll do Kang 1. Now, what I want you to do is you don't have to make the whole thing descriptive. So you can do, I was sitting in a hole and praying for my life. Oh, a lot of typos. For my life, right? And then you could be like, maybe I want to make the second sentence more descriptive. And I'm going to take the example of what we did Monday. We do the enemies rained bullets down on us from every direction. The bullets were flying past my head and whispering in my ears as they passed. Right. So, right, the first sentence is still the same. I was sitting in a hole praying for my life. And then I decided, instead of the bullets are flying past me, that's pretty generic. I decided to make it a lot more descriptive, right? I said the enemies rained bullets down on us from every direction. The bullets were flying past my head and whispering in my ears as they passed. So I'm appealing to your senses of sight and hearing, right? The reader should now be able to imagine a bullet flying so close to my head that you can hear it pass, right? And if you want to like an actual, like, if you want to challenge yourself, you can make the whole thing descriptive, right? Instead of I was sitting in a hole praying for my life, you could say, as I sat, as I curled up in a ball in the hole that I was in, I closed my eyes shut and prayed hard for my life, right? So it's a lot more descriptive than I was sitting in a hole praying for my life. I said, as I curled up in a ball in the hole that I was in, I closed my eyes shut and prayed for my life. The enemies rained bullets, yada, yada, yada. That's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to look at your first sentence, first 2 to 3 sentences that y'all wrote, and then just edit it to try to make it a little bit more descriptive, okay? That's the activity I want us to do. Remember, I do read through these, right? So just try your hardest with it, right? I'm not expecting y'all's writing to be extremely descriptive from the get-go. Remember, it's going to take time and practice for us to get to the point where we want it to be. Remember, practice makes perfect. So That's why we're constantly working on our writing to improve y'all as writers. But I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. And whenever you're done, come back to this video, okay? Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you edited and revised your sentence. And whenever y'all have time to do stuff like that, to read through your writing and edit it, y'all should do that. Always make a first draft, and go through, reread it after you think you're done, edit it, find sentences where you know that you can make it a little bit more descriptive, fix spelling, some grammar, punctuation errors, right? Always reread and revise it before submitting. Always write a final copy, right? The only times that y'all shouldn't do that is maybe during like testing, like STAR testing. Y'all don't really have enough time to do that. So if you're running out of time, the end goal for us, why we're constantly working on this, is eventually, maybe not now, but maybe in high school, your writing should be at a point where you could be a lot more descriptive from the first draft, right? So that's the end goal for us here. But for right now, always have a draft. Always go through, edit it, and revise it, right? And find places where you can be a lot more descriptive and rewrite your sentences, right? And do that a couple of times. And just pick out the best sentences that you think work the best, that's the most descriptive and helps the reader really paint a picture in their mind, okay? But moving on, there is going to be an assignment. It is very similar to the assignment, the activity that we just did in this class. I want y'all to write a couple sentences describing something, and then you just go back and rewrite it. There's a video about the assignment, so if you need extra help with it or need an explanation of what the assignment is about, just watch that video. It's going to be located in today's folder, and it's going to be on the assignment itself. So just watch that video if you need extra help. But other than that, that is it for this lesson. Really, this lesson was really about practicing our writing. Just constantly practicing our writing so that we can improve. Before the next class, remember to try to watch that summary video, chapter 7. Okay, I'm gonna upload that. I'm gonna upload the video also in the written summary as well. So watch and read that before the class, before the next class. If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, y'all know how to reach me at this point. Email me, the question board, or message me on Schoology. I always respond super quick. But other than that, that is it for this lesson video, and I'll see you here for the next one. Bye.